Hello, everybody. We've got a fun, goofy deck here for you. This is a standard combo deck that is Temur clone nonsense, which is exactly what it sounds like. Well, it's nonsense, and I'll tell you that straight up. Also, before we go any further, I want to make it abundantly clear. This is a disclaimer. This deck is a goofy, janky deck. That is the entire point and purpose. I am not telling you that this is ladder viable, because honestly, it's really not. My win rate was not ideal as I recorded this video. Additionally, I'm recording the deck tech after the gameplay, which I almost never do, but I had to modify this deck heavily to get it to a place where it was even mildly consistent, to the point where I could actually record multiple wins. This deck hands out losses pretty aggressively on the best of one ladder. That said, it does leverage a very interesting interaction and a very fun setup that I think has potential for greatness. So I wanted to talk about that and showcase what I've done with it so far. Now, the core interaction behind it is actually one that was introduced to me by a fellow streamer, a gentleman by the name of The Exiled, which I would go check them out. Like, if you're looking for Australian primetime or wee hours Western Hemisphere action, Exiled's one of the best in the business. But the interaction is Outcaster Trailblazer and Temur Battlecrier. So Outcaster Trailblazer is honestly a really, like, this card is a janky mainstay, right? Like, I've done Vesuvan Dublomancy nonsense with this guy. You can do stuff with clones alongside Trailblazer for some very cool effects, and that's what we're doing today. But using Temur Battlecrier, we can make basically all of our clones cost 1, and as a result, when they enter as the Trailblazer, they draw us a bunch of cards, but then also spot us 1 mana to play out another one. You know, and then you can ultimately draw your entire deck and go, like, not quite infinite, but, like, definitely big enough with it. So the idea is we just spill a ton of Trailblazers onto the board, generate an obscene amount of mana, and draw our entire deck. Now, I know what you're thinking there. Wait, if you're drawing your entire deck, doesn't that kill you? Well, it would, except for Living Conundrum. I know nothing says powerhouse bomb cards like a 5-drop uncommon from Murders at Karlov Manor, but hear me out, please. Not like that. Gross. So Living Conundrum allows you to skip your draws if your library is empty. So it prevents you from milling, and it itself is a 10/10 vigilance flyer if your deck is empty. This is clearly meant to be like a cheap self-mill win con that is just more fair than something like a Thassa's Oracle, I suppose. So, like, all right, sure. And it is a hexproof creature. Like, hexproof is a very powerful keyword that they do not put on creatures as often as they used to. So, all right. Like, if you're playing this card fairly, I'm probably not interested, but we're not. We're using it as a combo safety valve to make sure that we don't die once our deck is empty, and we've literally had access to every single card in our entire deck, right? That's the goal. We're also running Roaming Throne because it itself has power 4, so it does trigger the Trailblazer. Additionally, we can name a human on it, and it'll draw us multiple cards and spot us multiple mana for the Trailblazers, and it actually allows us to go mana positive, which is really darn cool. And then we also have stock up for, because this costing only 1 once we get our main combo set up is kind of silly, and it really is going to help add a lot of consistency for the early game, so that's lovely. And then once we've done the thing, right? Once we've cloned our Trailblazers, we've put 12 of them on the board or whatever, and the clones that we're using are Visage Bandit and Naga Fleshcrafter, by the way. Once we've done that, the way that we win is with an Imodane's Recruiter. So the last Trailblazer that we generate, we need to make sure that it generates at least 1 red, so we can just throw the Imodane's Recruiter. And because the Roaming Throne has named human, we actually get multiple recruiter triggers. And so the amount of overkill that we can generate with this deck is kind of nuts. We don't have to, but we can. And there's something about seeing, like a turn 6 attack for 100 damage. It is fun, I'm not going to lie. So that's the kind of thing this deck is trying to do. So like I said, not necessarily ladder viable, but very, very fun. To increase consistency and speed, we also do have Llanowar Elves on 1. We also have a Torch the Tower just because the mono red decks and the Core Seal Cutter decks are kind of all over, and being able to pick off 1 attacker can buy you like 2 or 3 turns in that matchup sometimes, depending on how they draw. So that's the main reason for that being in here. That's kind of a best of 1 include. If I was to add a sideboard and try to dial this in for best of 3, I might take that out, and maybe in favor of more dorks or something, more mana dorks for the early game. I don't know. But we also have Nature's Rhythm because it's basically like, it's a fixed Chord of Calling, but given that our deck is reducing costs, so that X could just be straight up free in many situations. But additionally, Nature's Rhythm allows us to find whatever combo pieces. Like, we need the Battlecrier and the Trailblazer both online. Nature's Rhythm will help us do that. Additionally, if we're in a scenario where we only have like 5 cards left in our deck and playing one creature out would draw us 8 because of, you know, how many Trailblazers and Roaming Thrones we have, then or more, but we haven't found the Living Conundrum yet, Nature's Rhythm can help us go dig that out of the bottom of our deck so that it actually hits the battlefield before we deck ourselves. That's an option too. So it's a nice little safety valve. Then stock up helps on that front as well. So yeah, so here we are. So Temur Trailcrier, as I'm calling it. Battlecrier Trailblazer. It's just silly. This is definitely a silly janky deck. And while I don't think that this 60 is super competitive, I do think this interaction is noteworthy, and this kind of combo setup is interesting, and there might be an opportunity in the future. Also, one other call out. You'll notice that Mockingbird is not in this deck because it does not function the way that we want it to with the Temur Battlecrier. Mockingbird keys off of the amount of mana spent to cast the spell, and the cost reduction means that you could have a gigantic X, but if you don't pay the mana, you can't copy a 3-drop. So Mockingbird didn't quite work with this deck the way we wanted to, even though that card is awesome, it just didn't fit. So little call out, just want to mention it there if anyone was in the comments like, Bo, but what about Mockingbird? I tried it, it doesn't work the way I want it to, and I had some egg on my face on stream one day when I tried it. So anyway, now we know. So let's jump out onto the ladder, see if we can get some wins with this thing, and I want to show you guys the thing. I want to do the thing, and I want you to join me in doing the thing. All right, we're on the Trailcrier action. No, we have interaction. That's not nothing. And we do have the Llanowar Elves on 1. Honestly, I'm going to try this. Let's just run it out and see what happens. Going up against Dimmers. A little Dimmer switch. Okay. Going to play out the Karplusan Forest. We'll have the Spirebluff Canal back. And I'd kind of like to tap this Llanowar Elves to play this Llanowar Elves. Mirex. Okay. Going to play, yeah, Disfigure. Got to Bolt the Bird, sure. As always, Ghost Vac. Main deck, best of 1 Ghost Vacuum. Hey, Graveyard players everywhere. F you, I hate you. That's what I see here. And as a staunch Graveyard enthusiast, I'm not amused, I must say. I don't appreciate this. I feel targeted. And I don't have hexproof. I'm very vulnerable. I do not have protection from general disdain. That's not a thing, unfortunately. Okay. I mean, all right. Yeah, it seems all right. It seems pretty good. So this would reduce that cost by a little, but you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna plot it. Keep it simple. Keep it sleazy. And the auto tapper actually tapping the elves. I appreciate that because that is what I would have preferred. So great. Fabloom trick. Sure. Treat yourself. You're gonna tap my elves. Yeah, go for it. I mean, you might as well. Free real estate. It accomplishes nothing, but yeah, you might as well. I want to shoot one. Oh, they don't have a black source, so they can't ninja Kaido in here. That's good. I was a little worried about that, but now I'm not. All right, we're golden, baby. I'd like to cry battle, if I may. May I cry battle? You're going to stutter. Rude. Oh, I could have torched the... Oh, no, but then I would have still had to... Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to sandbag the Trailblazer then. Oh, I guess I could have dropped that and then still had the mana. Oh, well. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me, everybody. Over here being bad at this game. Yeah, if you could just get blasted real quick, that'd be cool, thanks. The fact that they're playing the Gloomlike Verge and the fact that they don't have a black source down right now is kind of intriguing. Makes me happy. Oh, I mean, okay. I'll tap that for mana that's going to disappear immediately. That's fine. I can honestly... Yeah, I'm not stressing about that. All right. I would like to play my Trailblazer, if I may. Gonna have this generate a green. That way I don't have to tap my Pain Land. And we're gonna cry battle all up in here, and we're gonna draw. And we drew a Trailblazer, which was the perfect draw. And we'll pay 1 to hit this Trailblazer, because draw us a card. And this is going to generate... What kind of mana do we want? Truly doesn't matter. I'm going to say green and then play that. All right, so now we need to find another creature. We need to find a stock up, one of our clones, something. We need... Now our opponent is sitting with 2 colorless lands and probably some really good black cards in hand. So the fact that they haven't had access to that has been great. Darkslick Shore's coming down. Okay, so my my play time's about to end here, something fierce. However, we did draw the Visage Bandit, so we are gonna get another spot of mana and 2 more draws, and we found more action. You'll love to see it. I know I do. Visage Bandit, just do it again, again and again. Also again, then again. Gonna make 1 blue. We're gonna stock it up. And we gotta find 2 clones. We're gonna find 2 clones. If that doesn't do it, I don't know how. Like, I don't know what will. All right. Yeah, the recruiter. Oh my goodness. We got there, y'all. All right. Okie dokes. Yeah, we got a Nature's Rhythm, just chilling, just being a Nature's Rhythm, and we got another Naga Fleshcrafter. Sick. We also have the Imodane's Recruiter in hand. You know, we haven't found our Roaming Thrones yet. We haven't found our Conundrum yet, which I should probably be aware of. We still have 25 cards. Okay. Let's go another one. So a previous variant of this that I was trying to make work did not have stock up in it. My goodness, does that change things? All right. Yeah, it changes things dramatically in a very good way. Hey, Conundrum, there you are. Cool. Yeah, Living Conundrum, could you just come out real quick? And demonstrate to our opponent what we're doing here? All right, cool. Now that we have that, I'm going to throw this free roaming throne, name Human, and probably draw the rest of my deck, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, sick. Yeah, then I'm thinking we drop a copy of the Living Conundrum just for, like, primo. Oh, you know what? No. Let's drop our thrones. So they only have 1 colorless open. I'm not worried about a fog or anything like that, but they do have 3 blockers. I want to be positive beyond positive that we have this. And so Roaming Throne just stacking up. Yeah, the triggers on our recruiter are going to be like absurd, frankly. They're going to be truly ridiculous. So let's just, I think we've reached the point. I think we can hit this and call it. Yeah, GG's Bonnet. I see a turn 1 compatible Llanowar Elves with a Trailblazer and the Battlecrier in hand and a clone. Honestly, this is kind of the nuts. Like, this being a fast land is the only way that could have been better. So that seems neat. I'm pretty stoked, honestly. Gonna go ahead and do this. Gonna go ahead and tuck that away. Because they're going up against black, so being ready for some kind of hand-hate shenanigans, just pretty important. So this next turn, I won't have the means to play the Battlecrier. Duress. Nature's Rhythm's gone. Okay. It was a nice to have, but fair enough. Oh, snap. Wait a minute. So I could play... I could throw the Karplusan Forest. Play out the Battlecrier. No, play the Trailblazer first. Okay. So... go. All right, Temur Battlecrier in the mix. We get to draw a card. This is turn 3. Yeah, we needed to draw true Nutter Butters for us to actually pop on this turn, but, like, it was neat that we had a reasonable shot at it, even if it didn't pan out. But still, that was fun. I'm glad I tried. Nowhere to run. What are you going to hit? Battlecrier is 100% the correct answer. Not even close. If you don't remove the Battlecrier, I have the Nature's Rhythms, and you are in trouble. So, yeah. They see it. This opponent knows what's up. All right. So, let's see. I have 3. I don't have another. I could play the Karplusan Forest, and this could... Oh, I could harmonize that. Is that where I want to be? Oh, I don't need to. I can also just play this and just play the one from hand. That's also an option. And a perfectly fine one at that. So let's just go grab the Battlecrier again. Draw 2 fresh cards. Ding ding. Now, unfortunately, we didn't get any mana there, but we do still have 2 4-power dudes online, so we can just punch, and we're going into turn 4 against mono black. We could be in a worse spot. Archfiend? Sure. Treat yourself, dog. I'm gonna have that just immediately. Do not pass go. Yeah. This hand... Okay. For a 4-land hand, this is garbage. We don't have any ways to dig for our combos. It's very slow with all the tap lands, and we're on the draw. Like, Torch the Tower could be good, but yeah, no, that's a hard pass from me, dog. This, however, is a home run, in my opinion. So this one we're going to keep. I'm going to... Do we put the Fleshcrafter away, or do we put the Throne away? I'm going to put the Fleshcrafter away. If that was a Visage Bandit, I might feel differently about it. But... I think I want to trust this. Scamp. Okay. Scamp on the play, we might already be dead. And, like, without hyperbole. If our opponent has, you know, 1 or 2 pump spells and a fling here, we're just gone. Mirror and Bone Splitter, okay. Like, there are so many. There are, like, without any hyperbole, about 3 or 4 decks on the standard ladder right now where if they're on the draw, there is a very good chance that no matter what you do, the game is over, and you do not get to play it. That happens a lot. Well, our opponent appears to also be on Temur, and Scamp is a common role player in those decks because of its self-fling mode. So if you can buff it enough times and then, you know, hit a Calisel Sword, the sheer amount of damage it presents is, like, honestly offensive. So, like, that just hit me for 7. They could sacrifice it, fling for 7, or choose not to, but if they have the Calisel Sword in hand, that's 14 damage teed up here. Yeah, of course they do. So, neat. Fun fact. If you ever tune into my stream, twitch.tv/hamhawks42, I usually play best of 3 for this reason. All right. I see, I mean, Llanowar Elves on 1 into a stock up on 2. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, Karplusan Forest is, you know, our green source being a pain land doesn't, it's not amazing, but it could be a lot worse, so we will take it. We're also on the Bloomborough battle map, and I gotta say, I adore just the... We see a whole house here, like clearly a mouse house, and the paw prints on the outside just being so enormous by comparison is one of those little details that I just love it. Love it. The general aesthetic... for Magic in the last few years. You know, I'm glad that we're kind of moving off of hat sets, at least for the moment. But in general, pretty good stuff. Turn 2 Temur Battlecrier? That strikes me as pretty decent. So that makes this cost 1 less, which means I could hit X equals 3 and go get a Trailblazer with it, and then stock up for a single mana there. That's pretty good, right? I think it's pretty good. Yeah, this was turn 2. If you attack, I'm gonna let you through. Like, Core Steel? Sure. Okay, well now I'm not. You could have attacked first. You would have gotten a free hit. Okay. Okay. Yeah, Appo, where we at? What are we thinking? What are we doing? Very curious to see where this goes. So, do we go for the Nature's Rhythm move, or do we just stock up? That is the question. Because if we stock up, there's a decent chance we're going to just find a Trailblazer, but you know what? There's a chance we don't. I can't afford to risk it. So, I'm going to take the 1. We're going to hit this. And that's going to produce a blue, which we then use to stock up to hopefully find either Redundant Trailblazer or another a clone. Now, it being a... I mean, it also needs to grab a tap land as well. Like, that's awkward, but sure. Yeah. I'm going to go... I could have attacked for 4 there. It was tempting, but I know that the Quarry Steel Cutter is going to be sending a 2-2 in here, so being able to block that comfortably is going to be important. Losing that is miserable. Yeah, losing the Trailblazer is a pretty significant blow. So... And I don't have the means to do anything about that. So, you know what? Just gonna stock up, and we found another one. Do we grab the untapped land? No, let's just do that. I should have grabbed the untapped land. What was I thinking? No! Oh, I'm bad at this game. Don't be like me, kids. Be better. Had I grabbed the untapped land, I would have been able to throw. I would have been able to pop off that turn. I messed up. I messed up big time. And I'm going to pay for it. Right here. Yup. Good game, opponent. Well, we've got a bunch of defenders, but they have a Quarry Steel down, and I'm at 5. Now, to be fair, at this moment, they're also going hard on the burn. Yeah, when you see Bolt Wave, you know you're in for an absolute treat. All right. No, I don't need a tap to reduce the cost here. Okay, Trailblazer coming on down. Gonna add 2 blue, one of which is gonna copy it with this guy. Draws 2 cards. We found another clone. Excellent. All right. Visage Bandit coming on down. Make another copy. All right. Maybe my frustration, my frustrated dismissal was premature. I am now at 4 because I did have to take 1 off my pain land in order to hit that. So that's a thing, as luck would have it. But yeah, I think we'll be all right. Well, they're down to 30 cards. Living Conundrum, we found it. There we go. There we go. All right, so I just need to make sure to play the Living Conundrum first. Yeah, I'm going to make 1 red mana just in preparation for the Imodane's Recruiter, which will also be coming soon, hopefully. Actually, at this rate, we will draw our entire deck out. So, all right. Whew. Now, that said, they still have 2 mana open. If they're sitting on 2 Burst Lightnings, I'm just dead still. Like, crazier things have happened. All right. Yeah, there's the Recruiter. We have the Roaming Thrones. Excellent. Excellent. Good, good. All right. Not what I wanted. Let's throw this down. Name a human, as one does. Draw a whole bunch of nothing. Let's go another roaming throne. Yeah, we've reached the point where it's a little masturbatory, but let's do it. I want to go big rather than staying home. And for my last trick, the recruiter. Boom. +4/+0 across the board. So yeah, opponent, do you have any kind of trickery here, or are we good? I'm at 4, more than lethal. Lined up. Never count yourself out. You know? Based on the way their deck was playing, there were a number of cards in their hand that would have been lethal on me. I just got lucky that they didn't have them. But yeah, GG's. This hand looks rock solid. I mean, of the 2 combo pieces, the Trailblazer is the more important of the 2. I mean, don't let Battlecrier, you know, don't tell Battlecrier I said that, but it's true. Yeah, we do have the Llanowar Elves as well. This looks decent. Hopeless Nightmare? Thanks, I hate it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and dump towards the tower because it's not part of our combo. It's just here to help me survive. I'm going to play the Llanowar Elves mostly so that it can eat the Momentum Breaker so that I don't have to discard anything. Because let's be honest, that's just what's going to happen. Or the Nowhere to Run. Because this is clearly a Pixie build. Nowhere to Run, sure. Hopeless Nightmare on 1 into Nowhere to Run on 2 is just, you know, it's just what you do when you're playing that deck. Is what it is. I'm incredibly butthurt and pissed about it, but it is what it is, and I can't change anything. So I'm just gonna keep playing my game. I find the Nurturing Pixie decks, honestly, out of all the decks that are on the ladder right now, this one is far and away, without any question and without any hyperbole or any exaggeration, the single most frustrating gameplay experience that is possible right now. I have no words to describe how much I hate it. None. What, like, they're such words do not exist. The Roaming Throne does have Ward. But they have the Nowhere to Run, so it truly doesn't matter. I'm gonna go ahead and tuck that away so that we can start getting some triggers, hopefully. Yeah. So, the thing about these trampoline decks is, like, this one Hopeless Nightmare is going to resolve, like, 4 times against us, and it just will. Like, the one card is going to resolve multiple times. And Momentum Breaker is the most powerful setup in that deck. It's insane because of what it's doing. So I'm gonna throw the Roaming Throne, naming a human, so it triggers the Trailblazer twice. Gives me 2 fresh cards that I can comfortably discard because they're pointless. All right. Momentum Breaker, sure. Yeah, the way I would describe this deck, it's tedious. This deck is so incredibly tedious. Worst draw I could have had. All right. Wow. These draws were also quite bad. Wow, all right. Send it, I guess. Now, I'm assuming they have a Kieran back, just because they usually do. I'm not seeing anything to other than there's 2 mana open and 2 cards in hand. Sort of figured, but all right. I'm gonna send these. I'm gonna shoot one of them. If they do have a Kieran, they're gonna bounce it. Although honestly, if they do have a Kieran, bouncing the Momentum Breaker and killing my Trailblazer is a much better use of their time, and I think they know that. Schism, okay. So, at this point, I'm going to grab the Battlecrier in the hopes that we draw into another Trailblazer, I guess. but yeah, this isn't looking good. Viz Bandit, you're just a little bit, yeah, a little late to the party here. Okay. So if they attack, they get to draw a card and put me down to 2. But as long as my combo persists and I survive, I should be okay. Now, if they have a Hopeless Nightmare or any way to bounce that Hopeless Nightmare that they have down, I'm dead. Or just play Shelter of the Apocalypse as well. Because Orzhov good stuff is good enough, I guess. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, everybody. I do appreciate it. And thanks for sticking with me, even though I was very negative at the top about how this deck was going to perform. Because honestly, it's a rough one. I'll be honest. It's fun, but it's not great. And, you know, you'll notice that I was pretty selective in what games I showed to show off the deck doing the thing. Because the amount of just like, well, it's turn 5 and I'm dead, I guess, and my deck didn't do the thing. I didn't think that would be super fun to watch, so I did pick and choose those games pretty closely. That said, if you want to see a bonus game that actually happened before I did my final variant of the deck, that is available over on Patreon, because patreon.com/hamhocks42, I actually post a bonus game for each of the weekly deck tech videos over there. And if you'd like to check that out, you certainly can. Honestly, you don't even need to drop any kind of money on it. Even if you sign up at the free tier, you are able to access those videos. So it'd be cool of you. And if you want to throw a buck my way there, then you can get your name on this list here and get a shout out from me at the end of each of my videos. If you enjoy my daily streams over on Twitch, if you enjoy the Sell Me This Card shorts or these deck techs, Patreon is the best way to say thank you and kind of show a little bit of support there. It would mean a lot. And I do really appreciate you even considering it. Thank you. So, and huge thank you to the folks who've been with me and been with me for some time now. Angry Jellyfish, Dave E., Hal, Carl, Levi Grattan, Big Mamu, and Vance. Thank you for helping me keep the lights on and for all the support over these, I mean, years in some cases. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate it. All right. I stream also on Twitch Monday through Friday in the mornings, experimenting with these kinds of crazy brews and trying to find the next best thing. I'd love to see you over there too. So, take it easy, everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one.